it's so easy to start a program and then stop. One of the ways to actually get on a program for weight loss and keep going is to actually put a bikini on every single morning or get a boyfriend. It's one of the two. And if you do, you'll find that it will give you the inspiration to actually stay on your plan. Okay, so that's one trick that you may want to think about. So I'm going to start with
Gotta get me a bikini.
They're called mankinis, by the way. Okay, so we're going to start with the training right now. I'm going to start by sharing my screen. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. And we are going to start. Okay, so today the topic is 5 healthy habits that seriously stall your weight loss efforts, okay? And what you're going to learn are the 3 most common reasons why you can't lose weight and keep it off for good. You're actually also going to learn about 5 healthy habits that go wrong. And then you're going to get our 5 most common frequent offenders to weight loss stalls, ending with the solutions, okay?
Good.
So we're going to start with the 3 most common reasons why you can't lose weight and keep it off for good. Well, we know that over the holidays, which we've just finished, most people do gain a fair bit of weight. In fact, it's been shown anywhere from 7 to 10 pounds just over, around, it starts around Thanksgiving.
Wow.
Yeah. And they start to just pile it on. And there's actually 3 primary reasons why I see this happening. The first one is anyone who embarks onto a weight loss program, we're no stranger to intermittent fasting. It's pretty common out there, but really, are you really doing it correctly? The second reason is you've unintentionally actually lowered your metabolism, your metabolic engine. And the third reason is you're just stressed out of your face, which is pretty common these days, don't you think?
Especially over holidays.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And losing weight can be stressful if you're not doing it right. So here we're going to get into the 5 healthy habits that can lead to weight loss stalls. Well, the first one is we know about intermittent fasting. We know how it is a really, really important tool to keep under your belt to be able to lose weight and keep it off for life. However, what I noticed is when clients come to me and they show me what they're doing, okay, I noticed that they're actually not intermittent fasting correctly. And one of the first things that I notice when they start to share what they're doing in a day is before they start their first meal of the day, what I notice is they're actually sabotaging their fasting by doing things they didn't really realize were sabotaging their fasting. And that is putting things in their coffee. I see this all the time. They're putting cream in their coffee, and it's like 6 a.m. in the morning, and they're putting cream in their coffee.
So they're not supposed to be eating until a little bit later in the day, yet they're actually having food, i.e. cream in the coffee, earlier in the day, and therefore breaking their fast, so they're not actually fasting.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I see this all the time, or even some kind of sweetener.
Yeah.
Even
worse.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And so they think they're fasting because they haven't had their first meal of the day, but really they're not. Okay. Here's what fasting really means. It actually really means no calories, not putting anything in the body that signals that it's going to increase a hormone called insulin. And anytime you eat, you're going to raise insulin. So your goal when you're fasting is to keep insulin down. Why? Because then what you're doing is you're raising the opposite hormone called glucagon. And what does glucagon do? Glucagon helps you burn fat. So you're fasting to burn fat. Really, really important. So that would be, I would have to say, the number one healthy habit that I see gets derailed that leads to weight loss stalls. Okay. I can dive more into intermittent fasting if anyone has any questions on how long should I do intermittent fasting based on my age and everything. So you know what? Feel free to leave a comment or a question while Reese and I are doing this training so that we can address it after the training.
And if you're coming on watching the recording, just leave a comment below and we'll get back to you.
Exactly. Okay. So anything on intermittent fasting. All right. So we're going to go on to the second healthy habit that most people think will lead to weight loss, but then we have weight loss stalls. What is it? They're not eating enough. Okay, so they're not eating enough calories. Here, you think that, going on a weight loss plan, I need to eat less, but actually, I find some people eat too little.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where your metabolism becomes derailed. Okay, you're actually unintentionally breaking down your metabolism because there is a certain amount of food we actually need to lose weight. And that to lose weight, you actually need to boost metabolism. If you don't eat enough, you're lowering metabolism. So the question becomes, how do I know how much to eat?
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's a really good question. How do I know how much to eat to lose weight?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know for us, when we see our clients, we actually we calculate exactly how much you need to eat. So our plans are very, very exact because it is a strategy. But if you're not really sure, here are some tips right now that I can share with you. Okay. The first one is, how do you know if you're not eating enough? Well, you know you're not eating enough if you're tired most of the day. You feel weak or sluggish. One thing I notice for me, if I don't eat enough, if I go to the gym, I can't lift the amount of weight that I want.
Yeah.
And so this would have to be a red alert for you. Anyone who's listening to this right now, your goal when you go to the gym and you're lifting weights is to lift as much weight as you can with good form.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going knuckle fisting your way, trying to intermittent fast your way through it, fasting, and you can't lift that weight, I highly suggest that you change your strategy. You want to be able to have enough energy to be able to lift as much weight as you can because your goal actually is to build muscle.
Yeah, stimulate muscle gain.
Yeah, exactly. So think about that. The other thing is if your mood suddenly changes, why are you irritable? What is going on? Why are you sad? Why are you depressed? Why are you irritable? It actually may be because you haven't eaten enough food. You're hangry.
Hungry and angry.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And the other way to know if you're not eating enough is if you're hungry all the time, even though you think you're eating enough, but maybe you're not.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Another one is if your immune system goes down, and if someone around you has a respiratory infection or a cold or they're sneezing and you catch it immediately, okay, you know that you likely may not be eating enough for your body. The other way to know if you're not eating enough is if your skin is becoming dry and your hair is becoming thin. Okay, I have to say firsthand experience, this happened to me when I was dieting to lose weight. My hair was becoming so thin and my skin was super dry. I actually had all of these symptoms because I wasn't eating enough on my diet. But turn that around.
Years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Decades.
Now we're helping you. And the other one is, here's actually what happened to me also was I wasn't able to sleep through the night. So I don't know about you, but if you have a hard time sleeping all the way through the night, okay, that means 8 to 9 hours, then maybe you haven't eaten enough. Okay. Mm-hmm. What happens is the blood sugar goes down and it wakes you up because you haven't eaten enough. Okay. So really, really think about that. Okay. So we're going to go to healthy habit number 3. Mm-hmm. Ready? Exercise. So we all know that exercise is one of the key components to actually losing weight and keeping it off for life. But are you doing the right kind of exercise? That is the question. So when clients come to me and they tell me what they're doing and they're saying that they're moving and they tell me what they're doing and they're not getting results, it's because they're not doing the right kind of exercise to actually lose weight, but keep it off for life without dieting, really. Mm-hmm. And so what do you think that exercise is that they're not doing correctly, Reese?
That they're not doing correctly? I think they're probably doing too much cardio.
Exactly. Before it was so popular for those to run their way to, lose weight or to run off their last dessert, or they ate too much yesterday, so they run the next day. Okay, well, that is a failed approach because what happens if you run? Are you building muscle?
No.
Okay.
So many people are out there thinking that they're doing cardio. They hop on a cardio machine or go out for a run. They burn 300 calories, 400 calories, and then they go have a small piece of something with high caloric value to it, and boom, they've eaten back more than they've burned in the hour. So it's really not the healthy way to lose weight.
Mm-hmm. I don't know about you, but if you're somebody who just does cardio, And Reese may have just touched upon this, but your appetite might go really high and then you're grabbing sugar. And then that is also a failed approach. So what we're going to want to do instead is different types of exercises. One would be resistance training, which we'll get into after.
And that's not to say that cardio exercise is bad for you. It's just doing the right cardio exercise and recognizing that we're not doing it for weight loss. We may be doing it for heart health or circulatory health rather than weight loss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we're going to go now on to healthy habit number 4. Well, we all know that drinking water is really important for our health and also can really be helpful for weight loss. However, when clients come to me and they tell me how much water they're drinking and when they're drinking it, there are some red alerts. The first one is they are drinking their water when they're eating. And I see this so often. That is not a good approach. I'll tell you why. When you're drinking water while you're eating, you're actually diluting the hydrochloric acid that the body needs to even break down your foods. Because remember, you're eating so that the body can break down the foods, absorb what you need, and get rid of what it doesn't, so that you can have good metabolism and nutrition in the body, right? Nutrients. But if you're drinking water at the same time that you're eating, you're washing away your ability to break down the foods. And then what happens? The signs and symptoms are so common. What are they? Gas and bloating, stomach aches.
Mm-hmm. And we have to remember that we are composed of about 70% water. When we're just having a normal regular day, not with hard exercise, we're breathing out somewhere between 1 to 2 liters of water daily. If we're not taking in or replacing that water, where are we getting it from? And then we're wondering why years later we look like a prune.
Yeah, exactly. And so while you may be drinking water, always be mindful of when you're drinking your water. Okay, it's having water, but it's when you're having it. And so again, these are healthy habits that we think are healthy. I'm going to drink water, but if you're glug, 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 drinking while you're eating, we really need to turn that around. Okay. And I can get into it now. I probably should. I can get into the solution now, or I can get into it after. I think I'll get into it after. I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into that little bit after. Okay. So we've talked about healthy habit number 4. Now we're going to get into healthy habit number 5. And that is, we all know that sleep is essential for our health and our weight loss and everything. However, what happens is my clients come to me and they say, yeah, I'm getting my 8 hours of sleep. Yeah, but what time are you going to bed? It's so late. And you're missing the golden hour of actual fat loss because you want to be able to work with your hormones. So just so you know, weight loss is really a hormone game. It is. It's hormone balance. You need to have your hormones balanced for you to lose weight and keep it off in an easy, simple way without dieting. Okay. But did you know that having the right type of sleep is going to help rebalance your hormones so you can lose weight? Well, that does require going to bed at the right time. Okay. So when we look at our hormone health, I don't know if you knew this, but between 12 and 2 is the golden hour for you to actually be really sleeping so that you can burn the fat. And it's between 12 and 2. You need to actually be in a certain sleeping state to be able to raise growth hormone between 12 and 2. It actually pulsates between 12 and 2 a.m. Okay.
And you may even know of some people who work shift work who are struggling with losing weight, and they're on sleep, on a regular sleep program, and then they're off of a regular sleep program, and they have to get it all figured out again. So they have trouble with their hormones, getting them balanced.
Yeah. So 12 and 2 is the golden hour. Just so you know, growth hormone gets pulsated. When it does, that is your anti-aging hormone, I'm telling you. And what happens when that gets pulsated is your ability to burn fats like turns on, and your ability to make more muscle, to build the metabolism gets turned on. Okay. It's like it's a double turn on, which is kind of cool. But here's the thing. We have to take a step back and go, okay, if I need to be in the certain phase of sleep from 12 to 2, what time do I need to go to bed you need to kind of backtrack. Well, it's 10. It does. Okay. We have to look at the time of year. Right now it's middle of winter. This is the time when we actually need to go to bed earlier. We need to work with circadian rhythms. So in the winter, we actually need to go to bed around 9 or 9:30 to be in that right state of sleep, to be sleeping between 12 and 2 for that golden hour. Okay. In the summer, we don't require as much sleep because it's long light, but in the winter we do. And so, yes, you may be sleeping your 8 hours, but what time do you go to bed? So ideally, we're going to want to look at going to bed earlier, and I'll dive into that a little bit more. Okay. So what we've done is I'm going to do a bit of a review because we did some pretty rapid fire on those 5 healthy habits. Okay. So, again, getting to these 5 healthy habits and the common offenders that I see to weight loss stalls. So the first one is we talked about intermittent fasting. That intermittent fasting, you think you're doing it right, but you're not, and you're wondering why you're not getting results. Remember, fasting means no calories. So stevia has no calories, just so you know, but honey does. Cream has calories, right? So does sugar. We know that.
Yep.
So just know that if you're putting that in the coffee, you are not fasting. So what is the solution? For me, it's black coffee.
Sometimes people say you could have clear liquids, but that's not accurate either, because if you had a shot of vodka, that wouldn't be good.
Also bone broth. That's the other one that I get questions on. Is bone broth okay when I'm fasting? Well, no, it's calories. Okay. So it depends on your goal. If your goal is to fast and have weight loss, then I would use the bone broth surrounding like a meal, like in a soup.
Yep.
Okay. But if your goal is to nourish your joints, then it really doesn't matter. You can have bone broth whenever you want. But if it's fat loss or weight loss, then remember it is calories. Okay. So think about intermittent fasting that way. Okay. The second one is I'm not eating enough. Okay. So, you really need to know how much is required for your body. And here's the thing. I don't know about you, but for me, some days I actually eat less. Other days I eat more, but over the week, I've averaged it out to be able to eat enough for me to be able to lose weight and keep it off for life. Okay. So that's something that you want to think about, is use your hunger as your guide, ideally. However, if you can't really tell when you're hungry, then you're going to want to get some extra help, really, to have someone help you with the amount of food that is going to help you get to where your goal is. Okay. Should we go to number 3?
Let's do it.
Okay. So number 3, we talked about exercise, and the common offenders to weight loss stalls is prioritizing cardio instead of resistance training. I'm letting you know right now, if you're a woman, yes, we do need to lift weights, and no, you're not going to look like a man.
No, you're not.
No, it takes time to build muscle. Okay. And, but that is really your goal, is to build muscle, because the more muscle you have on your body, the quicker, faster your weight loss for life. And that way you don't actually have to diet. This is the trick to not dieting ever again, is to build a metabolism. How do you do that? Lift weights.
And because we tend to lose muscle as we age, because we tend to become less active or using our muscles in the same capacity, it's all that more important for us to continue to do resistance training so that we maintain that lean muscle tissue. And that's your anti-aging tool.
So one thing I always think about, I think about my future self, and when I'm like 80, because I actually have I don't know if you know my story about the kids, but I actually have a bet. So when I'm 80, I'm going to be able to hike up. I said Knox Mountain because I thought I'd still be in Kelowna. Hike up Knox Mountain. I did say I would hike up Knox Mountain when I'm 80. And if I did with them, then they would pay me $100, because they said, no, when you're 80, you're not going to be able to hike all the way up Knox Mountain. Well, I'll let you know right now, I'm in training to be able to win the bet. And I'm only 55, so I've got a little ways to go. Here's the thing. We have to think ahead, because what Reese said is so, so true. If you don't lift weights, you are losing muscle. Okay. How is it going to look when you're 80? If you don't? And the other piece of the puzzle is this: what happens if you fall? Are you going to be able to get yourself back up without very much muscle? No, cardio is not going to save you, but weight training will save you. Okay. That's so, so important. And then number 4 is when we talk about water, yes, we want to drink enough water. That is an absolutely true. That way you can regulate your hunger and all that kind of stuff, but not alongside your meals. So the trick is this. Ready? Take your pen or watch the replay. You want to drink your water up to 30 minutes before your meal, okay? And then you want to maybe wait about an hour after your meal. One of the strategies that I use for my clients that really, really has been working well is what I do is I have them first thing in the morning is have 1 liter towards the required amount of water for the day, 1 liter before they have their first meal of the day. So at least they've got the 1 liter in, but they also know that they need to keep that away from their first meal.
And the idea of not drinking water with your meals is that you're, you have digestive acids and enzymes that are required to break down your foods. And by adding 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 glasses of water, as we sometimes see people having during a meal, they're watering all that down and diluting that. And so they're not able to digest their food. And they're wondering later, why did I have so much gas and bloating?
Yes. And so number 5 is not getting to sleep early enough. Yes, maybe you're sleeping enough, but not getting to sleep early enough. Again, remember the golden hour, 12 and 2. We need to be in bed at least by 10, but I would say in the winter, 9:30. Okay. And also if you're having a hard time sleeping through the night, then you really need to be mindful of your light. So that means in the morning, get as much light as you can, even during the day. Okay, as much outdoor sunlight. You want that sunlight to interact with your retina to tell your body what time of day it is, to make melatonin so that you can release it at night. You don't want to also destroy the melatonin with all the screen time, because anytime you look at a screen an hour before bed, you are actually lowering all that melatonin that you made all day. You actually are lowering it by looking at blue light, because blue light starts to tell your body, oh, it's like 12 o'clock during the day. It's not coming at nighttime. So then you're dysregulated. Your circadian rhythm is off.
And sometimes we don't think about it. When it's a cloudy day, it doesn't mean that the sun is not there. It's still there. It's still peeking through, even though it's totally cloudy in the skies. Not the one where you have white fluffy clouds and the sun peeking through every once in a while, but it's actually cloudy. The sun's still there. The light's still coming through. And unless it's nighttime, you're still getting your, what we'll call sunlight.
Mm-hmm. Actually,
the benefits of sunlight.
I'm so glad you said that, because a lot of my clients say, but it's not very sunny here. I go, it doesn't matter. You're telling the body what time of day it is, and you're setting your circadian rhythm, and then it will actually do what it's supposed to do, which is give you energy during the day and have you sleep through the night.
So even if it's raining, even if it's cloudy, even if it's snowing, as long as it's daytime, it's still sunny out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. So we did a lot of training today. And now we're going to actually share with you a challenge. Do you like challenges?
I like a challenge.
I like a challenge.
You got a challenge for me?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
So we have a weight loss 5-day challenge that we are going to be launching, Reese and I. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so fun.
Fun.
I can't wait. So it's 5 days only. Okay. It's going to be an intensive 5 days. But again, success loves speed. Okay. And delay kills dreams. So we're going to be successful with 5 days. We're only going to take 20 people max, because we want it to be an inner circle. We want it to be intimate. We want to be able to reach you in a way where you feel heard and your questions are answered.
Absolutely.
And just so you know, there is homework after each call.
Not a ton, just some fun stuff to do.
Oh yeah.
Reflections.
Yeah, absolutely. But this is what makes the program so good.
Yeah.
Actually, is you have action steps and then you have homework after, but not a lot, but enough, like 30 minutes, maybe it'll take you maybe 15, but it is something that will solidify what you're going to learn. Okay. And Reese and I like to give away stuff.
Yeah.
So we're going to give away gifts and prizes also. We're very generous. I don't know if you've been to any of our parties, but oh my gosh, we like to give things away. So this challenge is coming up, and we're looking at Monday, January 23rd. So it gives you a little bit of time to actually say, yes, I would like to be part of this. But again, the first 20 people that are accepted, we close the door. So if anyone here is interested in something like this, and you're actually struggling with, oh my gosh, like it's so hard to keep the momentum up, or I don't really know what to do, or you have this question or that question, that's exactly how we're going to help you, is through this challenge.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And so the idea is to lose as much weight as you want, without ever dieting again. Okay. Now, normally this would be $1,000. Literally, this is $1,000 challenge. We're actually giving away for free this time.
Woo.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Game on.
20 people have some fun. It's all free. Let us know.
Yeah. So anyone here wants to put their hand? Yeah, first 20 people. And just so you know, the reason why we're doing this also is because we actually have cracked the code to weight loss forever without ever dieting again. It is 9 steps. So you're actually going to get a deep dive into these 9 steps, one step at a time, so that there's no missing pieces, that you can leave after these 5 days knowing exactly what to do and how to do it. All right.
We're going to have 20 more success stories.
Yeah, I like that. That's really good. And if anyone here is just want to hop on a call, and if they want to ask more about the challenge, or maybe just reflect back on what we've just shared with you today, if you have any questions, maybe you can tell us your story. Then we'd be happy to hop on a call with you. It is free. The first call is a strategy call, and we're going to help you get unstuck so you can move ahead in your weight loss goals for 2023.
And if it's not you, maybe you know somebody that needs some help. By all means, just pass along the information to them, and we can have a little chat with them and move them in the right direction.
Actually, that's true. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to see if anyone here we've got a number of people on the line here. If anyone here would like to ask any questions after the training, we're happy to answer them now.
And if you're too shy and you don't want to do it right now, you can put the question down below and we will get back to you.
Yeah, whatever works for you. Okay, so that was quick. And we're here for you, Reese and I.
Yep.
And we're here to help you with your weight loss goals so that you can lose weight without ever dieting again, because nobody wants to diet. I know I don't.
No.
Okay, we'll see you on the other side. Okay, see you.
See you soon. Happy New Year.
Bye. Happy New Year.